Hello, everyone, and welcome to another installment of Sports Talk. I am your host, Ian Sachs. Unfortunately, I cannot be joined by Jack Clark today. He headed home for the weekend, so I am all by myself this afternoon. But it is a great afternoon if you are a sports fan, and I will tell you why. We have the MLB playoffs are well underway. We have gotten down to the final four teams. That's right. We have the NLCS and the ALCS all set and ready to go. With the action starting tonight in the ALCS, the Baltimore Orioles will be hosting the Kansas City Royals. And then tomorrow night in the NLCS, we have the San Francisco Giants visiting the St. Louis Cardinals. Well, then we also have the NFL is well underway in the middle of the season. Week 6 coming up, got started last night, but a lot of games coming up on this Columbus Day weekend with full slate of games on Sunday and then, of course, Monday Night Football. The NHL, that's right, hockey is underway with games starting on Wednesday night, the first games of the season. So October is, and then you have basketball season right around the corner. The NBA is in preseason right now. So October is one of the best times of the year, really, when you have all four of the major sports coming together and being active. So we have a crazy show for you today. We're gonna start it off. We'll do some baseball. We'll start it off with the the ALCS, because game one there is first. For game one tonight, whereas the NL starts tomorrow night. And before I get started, we'll talk a little bit about the about the ALDS series. Both were sweeps. The Royals swept the Los Angeles Angels. The Angels having the best record in the AL, and the Royals were the wild card, coming back, winning that crazy game against the A's to even make it to the ALDS, and then just taking that momentum and rolling right through the Angels. And then the Orioles, of course, swept the Tigers, going up against Verlander, Scherzer, and Price, and they swept them. I mean, that was a great performance there. Without Chris Davis, who obviously is still serving his 25-game suspension for amphetamines, and really just impressive to roll through that Detroit rotation and winning in 3. So a great performance by the Orioles. They're really looking like, a solid team that took care of their division, and first time in the ALCS since 1997. And but anyway, I want to talk a little more about the Royals today. I mean, they've been the story of this postseason. First time in the playoffs in 29 years. And just what a story there. Then, finally making it to the playoffs, playing in the wild card game. In the wild card game, they come back from three different deficits to beat the Oakland A's, and it's like, wow, what an amazing game. This is why you watch October baseball. And then they go up against the Los Angeles Angels, and you think, all right, the Angels have it. They've had a great season, and they have the likes of Mike Trout and Josh Hamilton. And then the Royals just come in and roll right through them and sweep them. And one of my favorite segments this week from right here on WICR, talking about that very series, the Angels and the Royals, was from AB Conversation, which was on Wednesday afternoon, Anthony Carlo goes on a little rant about the Royals and the Angels. And I'd like to play that rant for you. It's definitely worth another listen. So here it is, Anthony Carlo on AB Conversation.
Angels.
Yeah, the Angels.
Mike Trout was like 0 for 9, 1 for 9 going into that last game. Albert Pujols, Josh Hamilton, you said it the best. These guys were doing nothing.
Yes.
Lack of productivity.
It's crazy. Jiggity Wub. Producer Jiggity. Jiggity, let's go.
Jiggity.
Are those three guys for the Angels?
Josh Hamilton.
Their batting average together was a .087.
Now come into the mic and say that, Jiggity.
Oh my gosh.
Jiggity.
Jiggity, sit down. Our producer has a fun fact.
There were 3 for 34, and their combined batting average was .087.
Oh my gosh.
Look at
Below
Jiggity.
100.
Look
Oh,
at-
below 100.
Wow.
Ben, below 100.
That's crazy.
Those three hitters are some of the best hitters in the major leagues. You ready for an Anthony rant?
Yeah, get the love.
Show up!
Whoa.
Show up!
Whoa.
Next time, if I'm an Angels fan, I'm not, but I'm going to act like one. Show up! Mike Trout, sorry, but you will never be Derek Jeter. And I am not, as a baseball fan, giving you the face of baseball if you don't show up. Because you got to be in it to win it. And Derek Jeter was always in the postseason to win it. I don't care if the Yankees team was better and helped him out and gave him chances in the World Series to hit the game-winning home run. But I'll tell you one thing. Mike Trout, 1 for 9 going into that last game. I don't care if you hit a home run. That's nothing. That is nothing. And Mike Trout, Josh Hamilton, and 8 Pujols. I don't even know who you are, Albert Pujols, anymore. 45 home runs to 28? What kind of crap is that? And then not showing up in the postseason when your team needs you? .87? You gotta be kidding me, Rob. Rob, you have to be kidding me. An 87 batting average between the three of them? That's not even 100. These are the three. Put those three hitters together are better than the Royals team in total. Eric Hosmer is not better than you, Albert Pujols. Mike Moustakas is not better than you. Billy Butler is their biggest hitter. Who the hell is Billy Butler?
And that was Anthony Carlo right there. Very opinionated, to say the least, about the whole Royals topping the Angels. Very, very opinionated. I mean, you have the Angels with that star-studded lineup. You expect them to put together a nice showing in the postseason, and you know, the Royals, they come in, they don't have a lot of big names, but they're looking like the team of destiny this year. And it seems like there's always that team that comes into the playoffs and you think, you know, they're the new team. They don't have it. They don't have the star power. Yeah, I can't name 3, 4, 5 guys on the team, whereas they're going up against this much more powerful, star-studded lineup with all the all-stars and their big contracts. And then, you know, it's like the story of the little engine that could. And, well, the Royals are the little engine that could this year in the playoffs. And this is definitely not the ALCS that a lot of people wanted to see. I mean, the Royals, they're not the flashy type. Same with the Orioles. Both of these teams are small markets, and you kind of wonder whether the MLB likes that you know, you have the feel good story with the Royals. You can kind of ride that, but you have you have small markets. Like it's not as good as let's say New York, Boston, Philadelphia, Los Angeles. You know, I think Detroit, LA would have been a lot more enjoyable for the MLB and would definitely sell more eyeballs. But hey, I'm excited about this matchup. Of course, I did not have this matchup. I did have the Royals beating the A's in the wild card game, but then I, like everyone else, got suckered into maybe some of the hype around the Angels and the Tigers, and I had them in the ALCS. So as you can see, my pick to win the AL pennant, the Angels are it's definitely not coming to fruition there. Besides that, though, an interesting little tidbit. With 5 games left in his suspension, Chris Davis was left off of the Baltimore Orioles ALCS roster. An interesting move there, because let's say this series does go 6 or 7 games, then they are preventing themselves from having his bat. I know he had a down year this year, but if you need one at bat at the end of the game in a game 6 or 7 to get to the World Series, I'd take Chris Davis there. I mean, yeah, a down year, but you're not going to be the opposing pitcher is not going to be thinking, "Oh wow, Davis had a bad year this year. I'm not that scared of him." He's going to be thinking about the Chris Davis that, jacked 40 plus home runs the last few years. So an interesting move there by Baltimore. I am actually going to take the Orioles. I don't know. I really could see this series going either way. I feel like if the Orioles win, it'll be, they should have won. Whereas if the Royals won, it'll be, wow, what an amazing story. Finally getting back to the postseason after a 29-year absence, the longest absence of any team in the MLB. What a feel-good story. They come back in their wild card game, and then they run right through the best team in the league, and then they make it to the World Series. Can they come away with the title? That's really going to be the feel-good story, especially if they match up against the Cardinals in the World Series. That would be a great story, the battle for Missouri. I guess everyone's going to want to hear my pick for this series because, well, why not? I really don't know which way to go here. I'm really torn on this one. I think I really could see it going either way. I give a slight edge to the Orioles. I think they have a little better team. Their pitching staff with led by Chris Tillman. I like their staff. Their bullpen has me a little nervous. I think Kansas City might have a little better bullpen. As much as I want to say the Royals, they're going to have the feel-good story of the year, and really, they have had the feel-good story so far, as much as I want to say that it will continue and ride into the Fall Classic, I think it's going to be the Baltimore Orioles. I just like the way they've been playing. They've been quietly taking care of business, and all is good in Baltimore, and they do have home field, which it seems like in baseball is the least important, is the sport where home field is the least important, but it is a factor. I am looking at it as a factor, and I'm going to take the Baltimore Orioles in this series. I'll say it goes 6 games. It's definitely not going to be a sweep. I think the Royals have too much pride for it to be a sweep, but unfortunately, I see the end of the line coming for Kansas City. They had a great run, but I'm taking the Baltimore Orioles to get back to the World Series. I believe this will be their first World Series appearance since the 80s. Well, for both teams, the Royals definitely will be their first World Series appearance since 1985. I believe that the Orioles are the same. Not obviously not 1985, but I think that the last time that they were in the postseason was the 1980s. Let me try to fact check that right now. But I like the Orioles to get back to the World Series, and obviously I think whichever team goes to whichever team wins the AL pennant will be the underdog against the NL winning team. Yes, the last time that the Orioles won the World Series was 1983. So, pretty much just as long a drought for the Orioles as for the Royals with getting to the World Series. But I am taking the Orioles to advance to the Fall Classic, and I'm giving them 6 games to do it in. So we'll see how that shakes up. Game 1 tonight in Baltimore. So that should be a pretty exciting one. I'm going to take a quick break, and then I will be back to talk about the NLCS.